Whether you here because you think I got dick sucking lips, you here for the astrology report, or you just curious as to what the fuck this girl talking about, keep watching. We got some good shit for you today. All right, guys, yo, welcome to the motherfucking neighborhood via Mystical Illuminations. My name is the neighborhood fucking hope dealer. I'm the neighborhood hope dealer, and I am here for your your Monday motivation on Sunday. For your Monday motivation on Sunday. Hold on, let me get my life together. I'm trying to see something. So, for today's agenda, we have something that I like to do at work. I decided that I would bring it here. We're going to do something called a mental stretch. Now, for this mental stretch, make sure you stick around throughout the video so that you can get a small adage to your mental stretch. You'll get that first, but you have to stay tuned to get my word of advice on the mental stretch. All right. So we'll start off with the mental stretch. After we do the mental stretch, I am going to essentially go over some vocabulary, some words that you will need to understand as I talk to you and give you this week's motivation. Okay. So we're going to have the mental stretch. Then we're going to have a small vocabulary lesson, and then we will go into this week's motivation. Now, I don't know if I'll pull any tarot cards this week. I might just talk about the energies. Who fucking knows? If you know anything about me, I like to follow my spirit. So there is that. Oh, by the way, it is what is it? It's Business Savvy Sunday in the neighborhood. So y'all make sure that y'all stop by the neighborhood. The neighborhood is like, it's kind of like my little confessional. It's the behind the scenes of watching me and my life as I go on in life. So make sure you stop by and do that. All right. So really quick, another rundown of the agenda, and then we will jump into today's lesson. It's gonna be a good one. I hope you guys got your pen and paper. I told everybody on Spiritual Saturday, make sure you come to every class, every video with me, and have a pen and a piece of paper. This is an interactive video. This is something that you have to actively participate in if you really want to grow. Now, if you don't want to grow, if you just want to watch me talk because my lips juicy, shit, feel free to do that. I like the fucking that like work for me. That fucking watch time work for me, my boy. But if you want to also learn something while you looking at dick sucking lips, that's cool too. My boy. All right. So, agenda overview. Mental stretch. You have to stick around to get my advice based on the mental stretch for today. All right. Second, we will do the vocabulary, the weekly vocabulary. So the things that you will need to understand to really get this motivation. And then after that, we will do the Sunday, I'm fucking up. The Monday motivation on Sunday. And I'm going to take my own advice and slow down. The name of this video is going to be Slow and Steady Wins the Race. That is the theme for this week. All right, guys. So I'm looking to the left because I got my notes over here. I'm trying something different. I know that my background, I put these, so each of my rooms, I realized looks like some type of graphical background. Like, this not a background, this my room. So, but I put those stickers on my wall when I started redecorating. But when I moved here, I have accent walls in my house. So this one is pink, downstairs is blue, and there is, like, I have a chalkboard in my office, and you guys usually see that. But I realized that these dots make it look like a virtual background. So hopefully you're enjoying the cuteness of my room. Somebody tried to play me. I said I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna say something because I'm petty. My feelings, bitch. It's the Scorpio, bitch. Yeah, Scorpions, bitch. So, but she was just like, oh, you got a cute little room. I do. Thank you. So there's that. All right, guys. So, and you're going to learn with me, bitch, I ramble. It be like that. Tangent. But I always bring it full circle. Always remember that everything has a reason. Think Legally Blonde when she on the stand, when Elle Woods is on the stand and she was like, I promise, this has a point. I promise everything I say has a point. So always make sure you have your pen and paper. All right. So, a mental stretch, just so you understand what that is, for every time we come to these sessions or you come to get your motivation, a mental stretch is exactly what it's called. It is a thought-provoking thing that there is no wrong or right answer to. Okay, first off, know that there is no wrong or right answer. Nobody's answer can be better than the other's answer. Here, all people are equal. This is I'm Switzerland. Like, all people are equal, neutral. This is a safe place, Switzerland. When you think neighborhood hope dealer, think Switzerland. If you know history, or just think of it as a safe place. Like, this is a safe haven. Nobody will judge you here. Nobody in the comments. Nobody anywhere. Anything. They don't want no problems with me. I don't have any brain. Okay, guys. So there's that. So The mental stretch is, and all of my mental stretches are tricky. So don't think that you're going to every time. And I learned this when I was at work. A lot of people try to, because when they get accustomed to my, when they have come to my classes, they realize that I'll do mental stretches. So they always try to outthink me with my mental stretches, and they never can. So don't try to outthink me. Answer this question truthfully to you. So every time you come into a mental stretch, think about that. It's something that's meant to make you think about life. Think about things differently. It's meant to shift your perspective. If by the end of this video, your perspective has been shifted in some way, I have done my job. Let me know if it's been, let me know in the comments if you watched this all the way through. Has your perspective shifted just a bit? And if so, in what way? And if not, if you think that's something that I'm saying that you was like, okay, well, I challenge you to think another way, feel free to do that too. All right. So let's get this party started on a Saturday night. All right, I'm done. Hold on. Let me take a sip of tea, my guys. I'm a tea girl. No caffeine. All kind of this detox, stress tea, and elderberry and echinacea. My mug says, I'm trying to be awesome today, but I'm exhausted from being so freaking awesome yesterday. Be like that sometimes. All right. I just took my vitamins, and the fish oil one feels like it's stuck in my throat. All right. Whew. Mental stretch. Are you where you thought you would be in life? And if so, why? And if so, why not? All right, I'm going to ask you that again. I'm going to give you a second to write it down. Are you where you thought you would be in life right now? If so, why? If not, why not? So stick around. I will give you some advice on this answer, okay? Whatever your answer is, stick around. You have to, I'm not going to tell you where it'll be. I'm going to randomly put it throughout this video. So you have to stick around to get the answer to it. So you can't skip to the end, and you gotta watch. Yeah, I'm that type of person. All right, guys. So we are going to go into so we're going to talk about, this is Taurus season. So right now we're working on using the Taurus energy, but we got a full moon coming up on April 27th at 3:31 p.m., I believe, Eastern Standard Time. So if you're not in Eastern Standard Time, look that up. If you go on the internet, there are all kinds of time translators. It'll tell you what time, but that's the exact time that Taurus, that the moon and the sun will be completely opposite from each other. So there's that. So in order to tell you how to use these energies, in order to tell you, to put you up on game, I have to first give you some terminology that I'll be using to help explain this to you. So one, I'm going to talk about fluid. I planned on doing this video, and I wasn't going to say this, but I'm a very honest person. So I planned on doing this video all high tech, but I couldn't, because I don't know if my computer has the software. I said I would call my little niece, and she couldn't help me out. So I said, in a very much Aries, not Aries, I always say that, Aquarius, I always say that too, Saturn square Uranus way, it was like, no, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. Just do it the way that's best to you. So I'm doing it the way that's best to me. I'll explain if you're new here, I'll explain Aries. I did it again. I'll explain Saturn square Uranus. And that energy, I'll talk about that again, just to go over something we talked about last week. But first, before we do anything, I'm going to get to these definitions. Okay, so fluid. So fluid is the idea. We always hear people say, in the astrological realm, fluid is like, energy is fluid. And even in the scientific realm, if we're talking about everyday people, and if you've ever taken a science class, you're talking about energy is fluid. Atoms and all of those things, like, what was it? Is it Isaac Newton's theory of motion? I believe that's who came up with the theory. But he talks about the fluidity of energy. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to help you understand energy being fluid like I understand energy being fluid, okay? So when I explain to you what I'm going to say in the motivation, it makes sense to you. So fluid to me is, so think of it like this. Well, first off, fluid is, think of a jug full of water, and when they say energy is fluid, let's say you start pouring that water on Monday. So you pouring it out of the cup on Monday. It's fluid. So On Tuesday, you still pouring it out of the cup. On Wednesday, you still pouring it out of the cup. On Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, on Monday, you still pouring it out of the cup. When you pour the last drop of water out of that cup, that is the end. That energy has properly dissipated. It no longer exists. So when energies are fluid, that means the water, the day that it's most, like the day that you start pouring the water is the day they said that thing happens. So like for instance, the new moon, the full moon energy, the fluidity, the I'll go back. So with that, energy is fluid, but in that fluidity motion, I feel like I have to explain it. I hope this is making sense to you guys. But in that fluidity, you have to account for several other things. So you had to get the cup, you had to pour the water in the cup, and then you had to start pouring. Okay? So think of it like this. I'm going to talk to you shortly about shadow periods and things like that. So, or like the fluidity of the energy and how all of it works. So think of prior to a full moon or prior to any energy going into anything, doing anything, it has to prepare to go into that thing. So as it's preparing to go to that thing, that the moment it starts preparing, even though it hasn't started pouring yet, that still accounts for that energy. I hope this is making sense. So as you get the cup, if we're getting ready for a Scorpio full moon, let's say 3 days before we actually get that fluid pouring, the fluid starts pouring, we have to get the cup out. So 3 days before that, and that's still that Scorpio energy. So even getting the cup out, even getting ready for the Scorpio moon, that Scorpio energy, that fluidity starts. Okay, does that make sense? The fluidity starts before the actual fluidity, the fluid pouring begins. Hope that makes sense. This is so all my nerds. It's thick. It's really, really thick. It's a very convoluted idea, but you have to really listen to it and think about it. So let's say the full moon the Scorpio full moon. So if I'm using that as an example, the Scorpio full moon energy started, I would say, Thursday of last week. So on Thursday of last week, we got the cup out and we start pouring the water in the cup. It's not as potent because we haven't actually got to the fluid. So all of this, so it's in preparation phase. So we've got that water out of the cup, okay? We've got that water into the cup. Water in the cup now. On April 27th, that's when we have the full moon. I just told you we were going to have a full moon. On April 27th, we'll start pouring that water out of the cup. And all of that water is potent. So all of that energy is potent like that for 7 days. So they'll be pouring this water. It's the most potent on the day that it comes out. Like, it's the first pour, it's the best pour. Okay? But all of that energy is still there. So you'll have that energy for maybe, let's say, if we start pouring on, it's on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday. We'll still be pouring. All right? On Sunday, we'll be out of liquid. But guess what? We still have a cup. We need to take that cup and throw that cup away. So on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, that energy is still fluid. It's still there because we have that cup. Once we throw that cup away, that energy is no longer there and we're done with it. That's the idea of fluidity. A lot of people think that fluid means it starts on that day. Fluid, it's always an extra energy. And that energy always usually begins 2 to 3 days before and 2 or 3 days after. So energy is fluid. So the energy from these planets are fluid. So understand, when I talk to you about energies and planets being fluid, even getting ready for that, there is the energy has entered the energy has entered the atmosphere. It's not as strong, but it's still there. So you're still affected by it. Hope that makes sense. So fluid. Fluid is the idea that the energies do not enter the atmosphere on the date that it is, quote unquote, scheduled to enter the atmosphere. It enters the date. it enters the atmosphere at least, depending on the magnitude of the planet or the energy, 3 days before, three to 4 days, or even as far out as a week before. That energy is most potent, and a week after that week is most potent. So don't forget to factor that into your analysis and when you're dealing with energies, because if you shortchange that energy, you might you might miss something. You might overact, underact, or not react properly because you don't understand the energies that you're in. If that makes sense. All right, so fluid, that's one of them. That was thick. I got thick. If you need to hit the blunt, you need to stop, pause, rewind. That's a really thick concept. That's a really convoluted concept. If it doesn't make sense, hit me in the comments. I will help it make sense. I will talk about this until you get it. I'm here to help you learn. I learn very differently, and I struggle when I learn. So I want to make sure everybody gets it. All right. So second, today I want to talk about a stellium. All right, so I want to take this time. This hat hurt, and I got to show y'all. This hat says for the culture. Shout out to his Parachute Panda's guy named Frank. He gave me this. He has a clothing line, but his shit was so dope. This shit so dope, and this, like, he just gave me this gift. I made him dancing. I was fucked up at somebody's party, and I just started dancing with him. And the next day, I woke up, went and smoked the blunt with him, and we was cool. He was trifling though. He know he was trifling, but he had wonderful concepts. He was an artist as well. So Parachute Panda, y'all make sure y'all check that out. So also, all right, so I was taking this break. Y'all see how I go on tangents. This thing started hurting my head, that's why I said that. But I want to take this time out to shout out Janice from Mystical Illuminations, Eden, Micah, I forgot your last name, but you know who you are. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Blue Flame Integration, thank you. I appreciate you. Mystic Cali, thank you. I appreciate you. Christy, thank you. I appreciate you. And first and foremost, God, but Mike, you know what I'm saying? Mike introduced all of us, and this morning as I was preparing for this, I had so many queries, because I've been working with people in India, but I had so many queries, so many questions, because in order for me to explain it to you, I have to understand it. So I had so many questions. Okay. So, you can't explain something, you can't work on something you don't understand. And I learned that, and that's the way I learned that is me failing so much in law school, because I used to try to fake my way. Certain things you can't fake your way through. Law school is one of those things you cannot fake your way through, but that's another tangent for another day. So I was reaching out to these young ladies to help me understand some of these concepts, because today was my first day that I actually sat down and casted a chart myself. I usually take shit from other people, but today I told myself, fuck that shit. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing but what the fuck I want to do today, and that's what I'm doing today. So the thing that I wanted to do was cast charts. So I started casting. So I said I would cast today's chart, and I knew that I wanted to do something different, and more personal for this Sunday Motivational Monday. So there's that. So today we're going to talk about stelliums. We're also going to talk about stelliums, conjunctions, and I'm going to tell you the planets we will be talking about and how they will be affecting your week and the motivation for those things. All right. I hope you're still with me. If you're not still with me, I'm sorry. Do something. I want to figure out something outlandish to say to bring you back to life, but I probably can't. If I lost you, I lost you. It's okay. It's okay. You can't save them all. No saving, hoes. Be like that sometimes. All right. All right, so a stellium. Okay, so I learned today is a stellium is when you have 3 or more planets within a certain degree of themselves within a planet or a sign. So within a house or a sign. So to all my people because I'm sorry if this sounds elementary to anybody, but I'm a baby astrologer, so I want to leave nuggets for my other baby astrologers. I don't want them to have to search too hard. And for the people who don't believe in astrology and just here to listen or look and to get some motivation, you trying to get that little mental stretch nugget. I want to possibly teach them something too. So I'm gonna be very basic in this, because getting to like learning this information was hard. It was almost like taboo. It was like being like going in the dungeons looking for this information, and not telling anybody about it because it was like, oh my God, what are you doing? So I want to make it cool. So there's that. All right. So, so I'll tell you one more time what a stellium is. A stellium is what I'm at 19 minutes. I'm gonna try to get us out of here about 40 minutes. Hopefully y'all pray for me. All right. So a stellium is when there are more than two planets within a sign or a house, within a certain degree. And this is where I was going. So in if you're not into astrology, if there's something called a birth chart has what it has it's a wheel with, it's a pizza with 6 slices, okay? And each slice represents a zodiacal house. So when I say it's a zodiacal house, I mean it's one of the 12 zodiac signs. So each piece of slice is a zodiac sign, and each piece of slice, they in astrology they're called houses. Okay, so each house is ruled by a zodiac sign. All right. And some of the houses, some of the slices of pizza have pepperoni on them. Some of them don't. The pepperoni will be the planets. Okay. So some pizza got pepperoni. Some pizza got pepperoni close together, which will be in the same. If they're close together, they're probably conjunct. Depending on how many pieces of pepperoni there are, is what contingent. It determines whether you have a conjunction or a stellium or the degrees. So that part. But what you need to know, as not to get too deep, if you want to know more, hit me in the comments. I want to say you can book me for a class, or a guidance counseling session for all of these things. But give me a second. I want to redo my prices. I want to redo my pricing structure. But we'll talk about that later. So stellium, conjunction. So that's what a stellium is. A stellium can be in, like I said, in between houses, or it could be within one sign, or it could be in one house, but it could be within a sign. Conjunctions, or you can never have a conjunction across signs. So let's say one slice of pizza is Leo and one slice of pizza is Sagittarius. If you have 4 planets right next to each other, but one crosses over to the Sagittarius, so the Sagittarius slice of pizza, that's not a conjunction. They can't be conjunct in that way. It is a conjunction, but it's not a conjunction. It doesn't work like that. It's not it's restricted to the sign and not the and not the houses. But if you're a reader, to all my nerds and my super readers, if you're a reader, you can read those together because those energies do play off each other. But that's not, if we're speaking technical terms, that's not a conjunction. Okay. All right. So a conjunction, simply put as possible, a stellium is when you have a whole bunch of planets really close to each other. A conjunction is when you have a whole bunch of planets close to each other in one sign. All right. All right. So fluid is the idea that an energy from an astrological event starts at least as early as 3 days before and can go out to at least a week, and sometimes further than that, a week before to a week or 3 days after that energy has lost its potency or is no longer in its most potent form. Okay. All right. This is for my scientists. This is understand that. All right. So then we have a stellium is the idea that planets can span across houses, but are close in the same, but are close, very closely in vicinity. So their energies affect each other. Okay. A conjunction is you have planets real close to each other, pieces of pepperoni real close to each other, but they on the same slice of pizza. They don't go into any other houses, okay? They don't go to nobody else. They don't go to any other pizza slices. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So we talked about fluid, stellium, conjunction. Those were our three vocabulary, thick vocabulary words for today. Those are really, if you don't get them, if it does not make sense, if you have questions, tell me. Because one, if I'm going to help other people, I need to know where there's a disconnect. Okay. And two, like if you don't know and you pretend that you know, then you won't ever learn. Fuck it. I don't know nothing. So there's that. All right. So now we're going to talk about really quickly, as not to keep us too long today, because I know all about attention spans and all of that stuff. Mercury, Venus, Uranus, Sun, and Aquarius. So Mercury, I'm going to tell you what these planets mean to me. So whenever you hear me talk about these things, I want you to hear these. I want you to understand this is what I'm thinking. All right. So Mercury is the way you talk, the way you communicate, the way you deal with people. Mercury also to me, because it affects technology as well. Okay. So so think, when I say Mercury, think about communication, any form of communication. And so that's why the technology, text messages, emails, social media, any of that, that's Mercury. Mercury is the way you talk. It's the way you communicate. It's the way that things are communicated to you. It's the way that you communicate through the world by your actions. So actions, that's Mercury. Mercury is all of those things, but in a different way. So Mercury is the way you communicate. Are you I'll leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there because that could go thick, and I want to keep it simple. All right. So then we have Venus. Venus is to me, think of self-worth. Think of, and a lot of astrologers will hate that I say this, but think of it as a Venusian guide. Look up Venusian. Look up the word Venusian. That's what I need you to do. I can't explain Venusian to you. Look up Venusian. Go down the rabbit hole. But Venusian, I think Greek goddesses. I think everything Greek goddesses. So I think mind frame Greek goddess. I think the way they move, talk, walk, act, royal. It's the thing. Because I want to say it's the thing that you care about most. It's your image. It's you. But Venus is self-worth. It's the detail. It's the accent walls. Okay. So think detail. Think as because no matter where Venus is stubborn to me. Venus gonna be Venus regardless. Venus always want Venus way. Okay, so because Venus is a queen. Venus is a god. So Venus is, and it's beauty. It's the idea of beauty. So whatever it touches, wherever Venus is, if you think of the Lion King when they say Simba, all that this touches is yours. All that Venus touches is beautiful, no matter what. It could be like, it can't be ugly because it's Venus. So what is the one thing in your life that is like, can't nobody tell you is ugly? Like you ever seen, and God forgive me, this sounds so horrible, but you ever seen like a big ugly, like a person that you would think is like, that bitch ugly, but you couldn't tell her nothing. She was the baddest bitch in the room, like shaped like Precious, bitch. I'm talking about look like 4 squeezed sausages on top of a motherfucking ice cream cone. But she thought she was the baddest bitch in the room. She had Venus somewhere. She probably had Venus in our first house. You couldn't tell her nothing. So when you think of Venus, that's your can't tell you nothing. Can't tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing planet. So where is Venus in your chart? Where is the Venus pepperoni on the pizza? All right. So that's Venus. When I say Mercury, think communication. When I say Venus, think you can't tell me nothing. Uranus is the come and fuck shit up. If I was a planet, I'd be Uranus. Just think like that. So Uranus is the coming. He makes chaos people's order. He changes the way that people think about things. He thinks like what you thought was chaos or irregular, he will make people think is normal. Hello, somebody. So that is Uranus. That's my come and fuck shit up and leave planet. All right. Then we have the sun. The sun is I can't explain it. I can't obtain it. Jesus, your love is so amazing. All right. So the sun is grace. Okay. The sun is, and while it's grace, it's also just, I guess it's the unavoidable. Like you gonna like, it's like That's all I can call it. It's the unavoidable, period. So the sun is the unavoidable. The sun gonna shine. Like, it's nothing in this world that's gonna stop the sun from shining. The sun will burn this whole bitch down. And the sun, this earth can burn to a crisp, and guess what's still gonna be around? The sun don't give a fuck. Ever. Ever. Couldn't you literally, just think about this. You literally couldn't pace a fuck to the sun. Literally. Think, I'm serious. Entendres, bitch. But I'm serious. You couldn't pace the fuck to the sun. Think of the so that's the thing that you just can't do anything about. All right. And Aquarius, I have a high love for Aquarius. My dad is an Aquarius. So all of the nerd that you get, my mom is a Virgo and my dad is an Aquarius. So I am also, while I have fire, so I don't know if I told you guys. So for the people who don't know me, I am a Leo sun, a Libra moon, and a Scorpio rising. So like I was taught by a fucking airbender and an earthbender. Like, if for all my nerds, my mom is like Toph and my dad's like Aang. Okay, if that makes sense. So so Aquarius is I want to say the hype man for Uranus. But I'm not even, because okay, you know what? Aquarius is, and it's crazy because Aquarius used to rule Uranus. I'm saying that correctly. I believe it did. Or Uranus used to rule Aquarius, I believe. I'm fucking up. But I know they are tied together in some way. I'm fucking up right now. I can't remember. Y'all already know. I gotta look this shit up. I pull in my fucking cosmic drugs card. Cause Saturn is ruled by Capricorn. But Saturn used to be the ruler of Aquarius, but it's the ruler of Uranus, I believe. Yeah, it is the ruler. Hold on. Let me make sure. Y'all gonna get this, bitch. Uranus rules what sign? Okay, so Uranus is, I know I would nuts. So yeah, so Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So if Aquarius, so imagine if if somebody that came and fucked shit up had a kid. That's what Aquarius is. Aquarius is like, Uranus will fuck everything up, and Aquarius fuck individuals up, but not in a fisticuff ways, but in a, like, I can show you a different way of doing this that's outside of the norm, and I can make what's normal not normal. But and I have Uranus's help to do that. So when you think of those planets, when I talk about those planets, those are the things I want you to think. For Mercury, communication. For Venus, can't tell me nothing. For Uranus, come and fuck shit up. For the sun, the shit you can't control is gonna happen anyways. And for Aquarius, I'ma fuck you up, but not fisticuffs. In a loving, change your life, change your mind way. So it's more of a personal and eventually a global scale. But Uranus doesn't start off personal. It just take everything down and just change your life immediately. And Aquarius changes it little by little. All right. So those are the things that you need to understand to get into today's motivation. And today's motivation, you still want to know what I got to say about short mental stretch? You gotta wait on it. I'm gonna wait on it. All right. So all of that to say, slow and steady wins the race. When I looked at the charts today, because I told you guys I'm super excited. Today I casted my first charts, but when I looked at the charts today, I really had to take some time to understand. I looked at the charts and I saw a stellium, and I was like, okay, so this is a stellium, and there's a full moon. So how do these energies play together? And so I was just like, well, there were, I think, some other conjunctions around, or I didn't know what the difference. I was like, well, so if it's a stellium, these play like this, and it's gonna have this effect. And I said, but if it's not, I don't. How does this affect everything? And so I hit the group chat, and I'm like, hey y'all, what's the difference between stellium and conjunction? New Age Janice, she was just like, hey, but this is the planet in the smallest degree, that you need to go to that first and then work your way up. So she really told me how to look at these energies. And as I looked at the charts, everything that I saw, everything that I see, no matter which way I flipped it, no matter whether it was a stellium or a conjunction, no matter whether it was Mercury, Venus, or Mars, not Mercury, Venus, or Uranus, or the Sun, and I even threw Aquarius in there because that Saturn Aquarius, that Saturn Uranus conjunction square, like I even threw all of that in it, and no matter where I looked at it, Taurus was covering it. Taurus was it was ruled by Taurus. Taurus was taking that energy over. So whether you are whether you have Taurus, whether you are a sun, moon, rising Taurus, this Taurus season is all about Taurus. It's all about slowing the fuck down. So this week, I implore you to slow down. And it's like an inception of slowing down, because it's just like, okay, so we have this Taurus energy that is in opposition to the moon. So we slowing down, but while we slow down, we got some stuff that's coming in to really affect us. Oh, and really quickly, so we got Scorpio. If we go back to our vocabulary really quickly, we got Scorpio. So Scorpio, when I say Scorpio, think deep thoughts, think deep sea diving, think the deepest parts of the ocean that you've never been to. Think deep. So that's when I say Scorpio. When I talk about Scorpio, that's what you think. Okay, so all of this, everything I looked at said to slow down this week. Remember, the energy is fluid. So if first off, with Taurus, this energy it already started. So right now we're in the pouring phase. Okay, so we're talking about the fluidity of energy. We're in the pouring phase of Taurus. So our Taurus, we're mid pour of fucking Taurus. Okay, so that we're in that energy. So we're mid pour we're in the most potent time of slow down. It's telling you to slow down from every angle. It's telling you to slow down from that Mercury angle, how you talk. It's telling you to slow down from that Venus angle, your angle. Can't tell me nothing. You might want to let people tell you something right now. It's telling us to slow down in that come and fuck shit up way. It's hey, don't fuck things up just yet right now. Slow down. If you're gonna fuck it up, make sure you fuck it up right. Make sure you fuck it up in order. Don't preemptively fuck some shit up. Don't fuck some shit up too fast. It's telling you to slow down. And because there's things that you can't control, that you don't know that's going on right now. Slow down. It's telling you to slow down in a small, detailed way. So I could tell to all my astrologists that came here, or the people who know their charts, wherever, and I'm willing to put all the coins. I ain't got that many, but I'm willing to put however many coins that's in my motherfucking pocket on somewhere in your chart. You got all of the planets or all of the signs I named, any of the signs that I named. And if you don't have them there, you got something conjuncted. I'm willing to put all my coins on it. So in some kind of way, this shit affecting you. And to the people who don't know astrology, I would say, get to know it, because you could just look at your chart and say, oh, this makes sense. It makes sense that I need to slow down here. I need to think. Like, this is the epitome of intentional living. You can't control the outcome. You can't control the future. You can't. Shout out to Magic Mike. He was just talking about that. You can't control the future, but you can control how you react to it. You can control that. You can react with understanding instead of anger. People talk about wanting to change the world, but how intentional are you on changing the world? Sorry, rant. And you know what? While I'm on my rant, I am going to right now pause and give you a little adage or a dose of hope for your mental stretch. Listen, no matter where you are in life, no matter whether you are where you want to be, no matter if you wish you were further, you are exactly where you need to be. God does not, like, God is able and he won't fail. Like he don't do things by mistake. If you on this channel, like if you don't believe in God, the universe, or whatever you don't believe in, things just don't happen. It's too much. I study it. I'm here. I'm talking to you about it. I write it. I take notes about it. So you know what I'm saying? Like the universe gives you what you put into it. So if one, you're not where you want to be, guess what? You got the power to change that, and that's okay. And don't ever be mad, and don't be mad at yourself about it. Don't be like, I'm not where I want to be. You ain't supposed to be. You're alive. If you're watching this, you're in good shape, because it's people who not. And if you're where you want to be, don't get content in it. It's an active practice to maintain what it is that you have in life. But regardless, you're where you're supposed to be, and be grateful in that. And be grateful in that. You owe yourself a gold star for even being able to answer that question. For being able to have hands that work, a brain that cognitively thinks. Take a step back from everyday life, and really, really don't judge yourself, and give yourself praise just for being in this moment, for taking some time out for yourself to do something for you. Because as humans, we get so caught up in taking care of other people, places, and things, we don't take care of ourselves. But this is a form of self-love and self-care, my friend. Bitch, anytime you spend time with me, you're gonna leave feeling good. You're gonna feel like you hit a blunt, bitch. I probably hit one for us. For both of us, for me and you, okay? All right. So that was my adage to our mental stretch. But I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. And now you know, as I go into this this second part of this motivation, now you know whether, okay, is there something that I need to, if you're not where you want to be, for those people, what do I need to work on? Let me start building a plan so I can work towards it. This is a great season to really start putting that work. So you right on time. You right in the thick of love. Sometimes we get sick of love type shit. You right in the thick of it. Go. Let's go. It's never too late. All right. So I put slow down. So everything around us, all of the planets, no matter how I looked at them, whether they were conjunctions, no matter what planet it was, I think the planet that's affecting us the most and how it's affecting us the most is in the Tauran energy. And the Tauran energy is bullheaded. And I talk about Taurus either. So when you think about Taurus, think about stubborn. But not in a bad way, in a good way. In a God is able and he won't fail. In that kind of way. Like you just know he's not gonna fail. Like he can't fail. Think of Taurus like that. That's how you should think of Taurus, okay? So the Tauran energy is really bullheaded, but it's slow. It's consistent. It's that relentlessly consistently applying pressure relentlessly, or something like that. A man named Ed said that, but it's the consistent application of that pressure. Just that pressure. Slow and steady wins the race. You ain't gotta rush, no matter what it is that you're doing, whether it's just waking up in the morning or it's a business venture. Slow and steady. So with that, we have a full moon. So we have this energy going on. We got this cup pouring, but plot twist. We got another cup pouring. We got another. Matter of fact, we don't have another cup pouring. We got another cup right now. We're getting the cup ready. We're entering fluidity. So we're getting the cup out the cabinet right now. We filling it up. So even though the energy is not potent, guess what? It's here. It's here. Oh, it's here. It's here. So because it's here, we need to understand how to move while it's here. So if we have this one cup that's pouring, I like to think of like other energies that's playing along, especially what's the cup that's going to be pouring the longest. So if this cup going to be pouring the longest, I'm trying to figure out how any other cup that starts pouring while it's pouring, is how long they're going to be pouring for. If they go pour for the same amount of time when they end, or they going to pour it longer, because all of the other energies need to play well with that energy. How do they play with each other? Do they not play well? Do they do it? If they don't, then that tells me what the energy of the atmosphere is going to be like. And if it's, how people say it's in the air, just imagine this water just being in the air, people drinking it. They don't know they drinking it. And they just got this crazy magic power they don't know they got. So they just spewing it. They just fucking it up. They're like, ah. But you got the same magic power as them, but so you know how to use it. Like, right. So imagine you playing a game with your friend and they know you know how to play the game and they don't know how to play the game. They ain't never seen the instructions. They don't know the instructions, but you do. Who gonna have the advantage? But with great power, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you know better, you got to do better. So you got to watch out for the asshole who ain't read the book, who don't know what's going. You can't be fighting people that can see, Ray. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. The blind can't be fighting people that can see, and the person that can see that's fighting the blind person, I can't fuck with you anyway. If that makes sense, okay? So that part. So with that being said, so the Scorpio energy is about to start pouring. It starts pouring on April 27th. I'm at 45 minutes. I hope this is okay. But it starts pouring on April 27th at 3:31 p.m. All right, that's when the first pour starts. That's when universe say, here, take this dick. This is when you get this energy. All right. So I say these energies play together like this. This is how you can best use this energy for your week. I said Scorpio deep. You have to walk around with a Scorpio deep filter on this week. And what I mean by that is I'm a Scorpio rising and I love it. Oh my God. Because I do have a lot of Scorpion attributes. You already know. Like I'm real. So Scorpios are, I remember when I told you, I said think deep sea diving. Like my brain is a fucking black hole. It's horrible. It's crazy. I can go, sometimes you just gotta stop yourself and think. You'll be like, you know what? I don't want to think anymore. Let me go do something else. Let me go watch some TV, bitch. So if you slow down and you use that depth, that thoroughness, shout out to the neighborhood Thorough Thursdays. On Thorough Thursdays, I talk about how I go over my business, how I deal with my business, how I give business tips on how to be fucking thorough, on how to fucking be thorough. So shout out to Thorough Thursday. But anyways, so, but that's over in the neighborhood. Check out the fucking neighborhood. All right, I'm done. So I use that slowness to be extremely deep. When you're slow and deep, that's when you get the most information. That's when you see the best. So if we're using this energy, so we already got this slowness, and now we have this energy of depth, of emotion, of feel. And Mercury is going into Cancer soon. That's gonna be interesting. Like if it's not already in Cancer. So. And I said Mercury was in Taurus. It's not in Taurus. It's about to go in Cancer. If it's not already in Cancer. So we got that. We got deep emotion with slowness. Now, you could use this to do relationship type shit, but I'd be like, why would you do that? Like you could really take this time to get to know somebody and deeply get interwoven with them. Fuck all that shit. I'm trying to deeply dive into these contracts, my boy. But in anything you do it Scorpio deep. That's the filter I want you to go into this week with. Do it Scorpio deep. And what I mean by that is, no matter, I actually wrote this shit down. I said, for instance, I'm going to use the buying a car. Like, before you sign a dotted line of buying a car, ask yourself, I thought I had my glasses on. I hate that when I don't wear my glasses. I might put them hoes on. I love my glasses. So, I mean, I am embracing a hot nerd, bitch. Yeah, boy, bitch can't see without her glasses. Don't judge me. So, my little niece hate when I giggle. Not my little niece, my little cousin. She be like, there she go with that giggling. But anyways, so imagine yourself, okay, let's say you buying a car. Ask yourself, before you sign on the dotted line, did I get Scorpio deep? How deep would a Scorpio go? They would go to the bottom of the ocean and they would have to stop themselves. Did I have to stop myself from asking questions? If you didn't have to stop yourself from mentally asking questions, then you didn't ask enough. You need to ask more questions. Understand as much as you can. Don't be afraid. Slow down. Don't be afraid to ask as much as you need to understand something. That's what I'm getting from this Taurus energy. That's what I'm getting from this Taurus energy that's pouring, that's mixing with the Scorpio energy. That's how we can make the best out of it. So this is the best time to ask the deep questions. Now you're going to have people who don't know, who don't have the instructions to the game. So because they don't have the instructions to the game, they recklessly wielding this power. They either wasting it or they out of control with it, or they don't know what to do with it. So they in their feelings and they wallowing in it, and they miserable. And miserable people do stupid shit. They lash out at people, but you know better. So when somebody lashes out at you this week, you just be like, pound Scorpio deep. I know this isn't me. This is you. So I'm gonna show empathy for you and not ridicule you, but give you some love instead. You know what I'm saying? That's the change I want to see in the world. And you know now. So if you know and you still don't do the thing, then you're a sucky person. Straight like that. I don't give a fuck. You're a sucky person. Don't watch me. You're gonna fucking hate me. I'm a sucky people shamer. So there's that. So get Scorpio deep this week. So as long as, matter of fact, stay Scorpio deep until all of the water is out of the cup. All of the water will probably be all of the water out of the cup, and the cup in the garbage. Because after that cup is long in the garbage, guess what's still gonna be pouring? That slow and steady wins the race. So now that you had that time to really get deep, since you come out of that deepness, what did you learn? Now keep moving at that same slow pace. But we'll talk about that when this full moon energy dissipates. Hello, somebody. So, hello, somebody. Bitch, I'm raspy. All right, I'm about to wrap up. I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's what she said. If it's not a lot, what the fuck we doing? I bet you not like Vienna sausages. Just being honest. All right, so, but if you sear them on the stove, I mean, if I had to eat them with some crackers, I would. I really don't have no brain. I hope y'all okay with me. I hope y'all like not what the fuck is this girl? So my motivation to you is to be kind, go slow this week, go and continue to go slow and go deep. If you run into something, ask yourself. If somebody goes off on you, ask yourself why. And if something bothers you, go deep. If you're triggered, go deep. You know, go Scorpio deep. If somebody hurt your feelings, go Scorpio deep. If you have a conversation with somebody, go Scorpio deep. If you diving in a pussy, go Scorpio deep. Go Scorpio deep. Oh, for the next couple weeks, go Scorpio deep. All right? If you go Scorpio deep slowly, nice and slow, you'll make it through. You'll make it out alive. You'll make it out better than you were when the pour started. And that's how I like to use these energies. That's how I like to think about the energies in the sky. So I don't know if that works for you. I don't know if that makes sense for you. So let me tell y'all, I shuffle. It's 52 minutes. So y'all gonna fucking get this hour. It is what it is. I could do a little hour run. I hope y'all let me know. I would say let me know. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to just do what I feel like doing. And if you watch, you watch. And if you don't, you don't. And the people that's for, it's fun. If it's not, it's not. But for the people who it's for, if there's any way I can help you, just let me know. All right, guys. Thank you so much for fucking tuning in today. I'm still, like I said, I'm growing, so it only gets better. I'm still learning. I hope all of the information got through to you. I hope you learned something. You're right where you're supposed to be, sweetheart, no matter what. Because if you wasn't here, if you wasn't here, you would have never met me. You would have never ran into me. You would have never got this smile. Okay? All right? So let's do this. Let's do this again, same time next week. I'm trying, I'm learning, I'll be critiquing, I'll be changing. But that part, shout out to everybody at Mystical Illuminations. Shout out to the fucking Peace Dealer Magic motherfucking Mike. Shout out to CYO Brown. Make sure y'all check him out on motherfucking Instagram. Make sure y'all check him out, the CYO Pie Show. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. I did an interview with him talking about connections. It's awesome. It's popping. That part. So make sure y'all check that shit out. And happy motherfucking Business Savvy Sunday. Happy motherfucking Motivational Monday on Sunday. Y'all go knock that shit out this week. Y'all go get it. You got the energy. You got the cheat code. You got the fucking cheat code. You got the cheat code. If you got the cheat code, what you ain't got no worries. You ain't got no worries. You got the cheat code for the week. That's what I'm gonna name this. Slow and steady wins the way. Wins the race. And I think I'm gonna change the name from motivational Sunday on Monday to cheat code. That's what it's gonna be. That's what we're gonna call these. Cheat code, and then I'm gonna just put the tag of slow and steady wins the race. Bitch. Y'all get to see it happen live in living color. All right, guys. All right. I'm just rambling at this point. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will check y'all out next week. I will see you next Saturday. Spiritual Saturday. Make sure you have your pen and your paper ready. And we're gonna have a good time.